We recapped the Thursday night football games before the first break. Again, congratulations to North Scott winning their first state title in program history. I think it was like Matt Cossett even wrote that, just over 25 years ago, they struggled to even win a game. He had a nice little, the lineage of coaches to, now Coach Tippett. Congratulations to them for getting that game out of the way, not making it to the very end like they did before. So hats off to North Scott bringing a state title here to Eastern Iowa. We also had the college football game last night, Tulsa versus Tulane, and then Seattle versus Arizona. And I believe I took Arizona. T-Ray?
Yeah. You guys both took Arizona. I took Seattle.
I didn't see Carlos Hyde coming and doing that. The defense, finally Seattle's defense stepped up, and they gave Kyler Murray some fits. But hats off to them. And like I pointed out,
they had just signed Carlos Dunlap from Cincinnati, or on a trade, or however they got it. So he was a big game changer. The sack there at the end against Murray to seal the deal. But, I mean, there was still, Arizona still had a chance to tie it, for sure.
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, that's big for Seattle. We never pointed out, we pointed out before the break, but it's one of those things. Russell Wilson's never lost 3 games in a row, so a good stat to know ahead of time if I would have known that before. But so be it. We'll just have to make a run another way, right, Cal?
Yep.
Get some in a row. All right. Tomorrow, Iowa, Penn State at 2:30. And
should be a good game.
It should be. Right now, the series, this will be the 30th meeting between Iowa and Penn State. The Nittany Lions have won the last 6 meetings and hold a 17-12 advantage in the series.
It might be different this year. Penn State ain't looking too tough.
I know. The series, though, is tied 10-10 since 1993 when Penn State joined the Big Ten Conference. And Iowa is 7-7 all-time in games played in University Park. They always bring that little bit that Ferentz is from Pennsylvania to it, the talk.
Right.
And be like, he really likes to win here and everything else. We've mentioned him before. Torrey Taylor, Iowa's punter, is second in the Big Ten and 13th in the country, averaging 45.8 yards per punt. Last week, Charlie Jones, wide receiver, was named the Big Ten Special Teams Player of the Week. He returned a punt for 54 yards against Minnesota. It was his first career punt return for a touchdown. It was Iowa's first since 2018. Iowa has 2, speaking of Jones, Iowa has 2 of the country's top returners. Jones leads the Big Ten and ranks 6th in the country, averaging 15 yards per punt. He has 1 punt return for touchdown, like I said. And Amir Smith-Marset averages 24.5 yards per kickoff return in 2020. Number 1 in the Big Ten, 25th in the country. Smith-Marset is the top kickoff returner in Big Ten history. He averages 29.4 yards on 49 career kickoff returns, the best in school and Big Ten history. That's not a stat I knew. That's very impressive.
Yeah, not bad.
D-line is emerging.
I still think the key is going to be if they can get Goodson off. If he gets off and running,
another 100-yard game.
Yeah,
you probably want that. Another.
Right now we don't need to rely on.
It's.
Dang it. I want to say Pritzker, and I know it's not Pritzker.
No, Petrus. That's where the problem's going to be.
We need
it's the pressure.
Yeah, we can't have him turning the ball over because that obviously, and we're lucky there's no fans in the stand.
He looks robotic. You ever see how he goes out there? He just kind of looks stiff. You know what I mean?
It seems like it's just one of those for him, even though, so against Minnesota, they opened up with a 75-yard drive, and that's what they need. But other than that, sometimes it just seems like it takes him a while to warm up. And I think to your point, T-Roy, it's Tyler Goodson that's got to do it.
He's missing a lot of completions.
For
whatever reason.
He's got a cannon.
Whether it's his robotics or, he's got a strong arm. But
he needs to loosen up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He's like kind of just trying to zip everything. He's trying to zip everything.
Like he's not. Yeah. He's like a pitcher aiming the ball instead of throwing the ball.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a good point because I did say when we had Kakert in studio, I said he lacks loft on the ball.
Do you got his stats for the year right now in front of you?
I'm pretty sure
he's a zipper.
Let's see. They
can't be that great.
He's got what?
They can't be that great.
Well, he's got Huh?
What I'm getting at is his ratio from interceptions touchdowns, interceptions can't be that great, and his completion percentage can't be that great.
I will find it for you. Just give me a second. He is, though, however, he has 134 pass attempts through 4 weeks. That's the third most by any Big Ten quarterback, which is strange.
That's a lot for Iowa.
That's a lot for Iowa. That's what I was going to say, Kyle. Because you brought that up before, that they really work their running backs.
Yeah.
So let me see where I can find that for you.
Aren't they deep in running backs?
Yeah. But
Like Iowa always is. Iowa's always deep in running backs.
But Goodson, now he's got 8 career starts and 9 touchdowns, whatever else. So he's doing fine. Let me see. I think I might have this for you here too, right? Passing. He is. Oh no, that was the Minnesota game stats. Let me see if I can. I don't want to do this on the air. Go through this, but I will find what you're looking for, pal.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I love you, T-Roy.
Love you more.
Well, welcome back for everybody on Facebook Live.
Yes.
Sorry we had trouble there getting everything to where we needed to be,
It's
but
the internet's fault.
it's the internet's fault. Yeah.
They want to pick up.
They are. Let's see. He is 72 of 134.
So
That's not bad.
4 interceptions, 3
just over
touchdowns.
50%.
Yeah, I mean,
4 interceptions, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
yeah, for the ratio turn. So he's 2 for 1.
Yeah, he's 53.7% right now.
Yeah.
Averaging 189.8 yards per game.
Joe Burrow threw 80% completion percentage last year for the. Yeah. I mean, this kid's supposed to be good, and I get it, but I get the criticism too.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's a lot of people calling for him not to be the starter right now.
And Kakert, who never says anything like, I kind of understand or whatever else. He said he kind of felt it in that game a little bit, even against Minnesota, that he agreed
What
to
he
it.
has 3 touchdowns and 4 INTs?
Yeah.
See, remember when we talked about this? What was it, a while back? I'll say it was probably about last year around this time. Remember I said, how come they never went back to the 2002 formula?
Which
one was that?
Just,
With
When
Brad
they,
Banks.
When they had Banks?
you mean a running quarterback?
A quarterback that could throw, a quarterback that could run. You know what I'm saying? They had decent receivers. They didn't pass a lot. They didn't pass a lot.
I think
because
when it
they
comes
had
to quarterback, they just get what they can recruit sometimes.
Yeah, no, I get that, but like the thing is like this, like, and remember I asked, I was like, is Ferentz playing just to have them play, or is he trying to win a championship?
Okay, well, you have to understand where the umbrella comes from.
Right,
And Ferentz is Brian, the OC,
right,
and actually Kirk too. He was understaffed under Belichick, and that's where Brian comes from.
right.
So you're going to see more of that drop back pocket passer than you're going to see a scrambling
No, for
passer.
sure, for sure.
And I think and also
Well,
too,
but-
right, when you have Brad Banks there and you get him, and then all of a sudden you're like, we need to switch some things up because we've got this talent.
Well, yeah.
Right.
But
are
you
they
should
looking
coach
for it?
that's what Cal's saying is, are
Yeah.
they trying to recruit it?
Are you trying to recruit
And
that?
what I'm getting at is, I don't even know if they did go out and recruit a certain style. I think they go out and recruit
Whatever
what they can get.
Right, like
Feels like. I don't know.
remember the guy that they got from Makokata?
Oh no, he went to Iowa State. You're thinking of Sage Rosenfels.
Yeah. Oh, he
went
did go
to
to
Iowa
Iowa State.
State.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, we don't.
Because I remember I
we
was
don't
trying to get him.
recognize
I know I was trying to get him. I know. But like I was like
Sage.
but the guy was just stiff. Like you know what I mean? Like I was like, how come they're not going for the athletic quarterback? Go for the
Wait,
stuff
they
that
did
worked
have
for
a
him.
kid from Fort Madison, or no? Was it
Yeah. Hold on.
Keokuk.
Keokuk?
Yeah.
It was Keokuk. My bad, not Makokata. Keokuk.
man.
What was his name?
I feel like it's Jake Rudolph, not Jake
No,
Rudolph.
it was
Jake,
like
No.
Klinkenberg.
Something like that.
Yeah,
It's something like
some
that.
of them can tell us probably on the Harrington's
But
Pub
the
Facebook
thing is,
comment
the kid.
Vanderberg?
It was Vandenberg. Yeah,
That's it. And
There you go.
they held this kid in high regards, and he did nothing.
he was. I think he rewrote like a lot of stats in high school, though. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I
So-
get that.
But
that.
so is Petrus. If Petrus
Yeah.
is the guy that reset Jared Goff's records in high school.
That's what I'm saying. But like, what he got to Iowa, and then they're like,
wanna-
okay. I mean,
listen, I wanted the guy. What's the guy with the Deuce Hogan? See, that sounds like a quarterback.
he'll be there. Yeah.
He's a freshman, though, right? Did he redshirt?
Last year, or does he true?
No, he's a true freshman this year, unless he redshirt.
He had some quote or whatever. He just wants to do whatever he can to helped the Iowa program. I can't remember if it was just an interview or whatever.
And I don't want to be misquoted when I say a scrambling quarterback. I don't necessarily mean a black quarterback because there's white quarterbacks that can. We just need a mobile quarterback.
Yeah, a mobile
you know what I'm saying? That'll change the dynamic of game. A broken play, he could run it about 10, 15 yards. You know what I'm saying?
Aaron Rodgers is a mobile quarterback.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's what
Big Ben used to be.
I was like, you guys need to stop getting these stationary. Footwork is stiff.
Yeah.
Arm is stiff.
Well, I feel like they tried to be like the Patriots. Without Brady.
I mean, there it is.
Well, that's yeah.
I mean, there it is.
But that's a lot of where, I mean, those guys coach together too, so you can see a lot of it. Well, didn't Brian play for?
Yes.
Yeah.
He played for Belichick out there. So, and I think he coached out there also for them.
After his playing career was over.
Yep. So, 2:30 kickoff tomorrow.
Yep.
In Happy Valley. It's got to be strange. This is one of those things that this COVID type of situation, this has got to be killing businesses in Happy Valley. This is a place.
Yes. They have tons of restaurants in that place.
This is a place that turns into the number 3 most populated city in Pennsylvania on game day. So this has got to be an absolute killer.
Well, they have over 220 seats in that place.
I don't think it's that high, but I think it's in the 90s because
not 200. I'm sorry.
The big house. The big house.
The big house. Is like what?
The big house is over 100,000.
Yeah, and then didn't Happy Valley extend theirs to beat Michigan State?
That I don't know. All I know is that
Michigan.
Google it and see what they are.
I know is the fact is that it becomes the 3rd largest city in on game day.
And that's the thing. Like you can't. Man, businesses are getting killed with that.
Happy.
The other thing that's going on during this kind of, and I don't want to say it's because of the COVID schools, but the Group of 5 versus the Power 5 has increased quite a bit as well. There are now 7 teams in the Group of 5 in the top 25. Cincinnati, BYU, Marshall, Coastal Carolina.
Beaver Stadium, correct?
Beaver Stadium, yep.
109,000.
Look at that,
there.
Cal.
Yeah.
And then, what is it called? The Big
House, Ann Arbor, yeah. I think it's Michigan Stadium or whatever, but yeah, they call it Big House. Anyway, like I was saying, number 15, Coastal Carolina, number 21, Liberty, number 24, Louisiana, number 25, Tulsa. What?
They average 111,459.
They average, I have not ever been to Beaver Stadium.
Close.
I've been to the Big House. I don't want to take anything away from a Michigan fan.
Right.
It's just the way it's built, the noise goes up.
Yeah.
Instead of down.
Yeah.
So you don't really feel like you're overwhelmed by the noise at all. You can have a conversation with someone, and I remember when I was there, I had a phone call, and I was like, "I'm there. Aren't you at the game?" I'm like, "Yes." That's now you can take it a couple ways.
Right.
You can take it as we're Iowa fans, or that's an Iowa first down, and they go nuts, and Michigan's like, we're used to it. It's a Michigan first down. They're like, not a big deal. But it was just kind of the thing where I was on the phone calls with my brother, and he's like, "Aren't you at the game?" I'm like, "Yeah, isn't this nuts? Like, you can hear me. Like, it doesn't, not take anything away from it. It's cool. The atmosphere is great.
Right.
It's not my favorite place in the Big Ten, not one bit.
Right.
I will always take Madison in a heartbeat. I love Camp Randall. I have had great
over McKinnick.
If I had to not pick one, if I had to go on the road, I'm taking Camp Randall every time. That atmosphere, the fan section, the student section is great.
The probably the worst stadium I've been to. I don't want to say it's the worst. It wasn't well put together. Was Iowa State, because you have 80,000 people sitting on that hill, and that's where we were watching the game at Iowa State. We were watching from that slanted hill.
I think they've since put stands in there.
Yeah, I was like, no, because when I went, it was like what 90.
They've since
90,
put stands
98.
in there.
I would say that
I was like, this sucks.
I was like, in the Big Ten, the worst has to be Northwestern. I mean, it's
I've
like
been to Northwestern.
It's like watching it at a high school field.
It's a high school field in a neighborhood.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
Isn't it by a library?
It's
a library right behind it.
There's houses all over.
It's crazy. It's just I was like,
it's called bleachers. It's like going down to Western and watching a game there.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is.
Like. That's a good call.
Yeah. Western was terrible.
Which Western's supposed to be small like that.
Yeah.
This is a Big Ten school with that sort of feel. It's crazy.
Other news around the Big Ten, Ohio State and number 9 Indiana. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but number 9 Indiana.
How's
they
Indiana
this
number
weekend.
9?
They're
You sure this isn't basketball right
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Isn't that too high for Indiana?
This is the first time they've ever been ranked in football in my adult life.
Mm-hmm.
When's the last time they were ranked?
Wait.
I believe it was 69. That's this high, or in the top 10, I think it was 69.
Insane.
Number 9?
Yeah.
They're ahead of Georgia?
They don't have a loss, that's why.
They haven't been ranked, period, my entire life.
The only time
I bet you they've been ranked. I think it's just high. I know it's this high.
Weren't they about 2 or 3 years ago? Weren't they ranked like 20, 21?
I don't know, but
if they were, it was when they had Antoine Randall out.
Yeah, that's got to be it.
That would have been it.
Also,
that's the only Indiana football player you can name.
Northwestern plays host to number 10 Wisconsin. The over-under in that's probably going to be low. Northwestern's allowing 14 points per game. Wisconsin allowing 18 just in 2 games. So, to date, making our COVID test, is that 78 college football games have either been canceled or postponed, including 16 this weekend. 9 were canceled, 7 were postponed. So, when we come back, we got to begin our pick 6, because I really don't know how long we have Peggy at 1 o'clock, so I want to start this. And then if we have to take a break, in between that, take a break in our pick 6, we'll come back to it. But we still have like DFS to do in the second half of the second hour.
We'll do
so,
one of those. Okay.
So we got to do a break, and then we'll talk. And I'm going to give her a call real quick too to make sure she's still available.
Front Street Brewery is the oldest brew pub in Iowa, nestled right along the bank of the mighty Mississippi, serving Davenport since 1992 with great beer like the Davenport Gold, the Wise Guy, and the Raging River. Remember, you can check out their Facebook page for all food and drink specials, or visit the webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. The restaurant is located at 208 East River Drive. The tap room is in the Freight House Complex. Please get down to Front Street today and try some of that brew and some of that food.
Like that! You like that! Woo! Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Merrick Brave from SCW Pro, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Play your game with the first bet risk-free, up to $500, only at Elite Sportsbook. Just sign up for a new Elite Sportsbook account and make your first bet online. If it is graded as a loss, we will match it with a free bet up to $500. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for a list of casino locations and sign up today. You will always be in the game with Elite Sportsbook. For a limited time only. Must be 21. Visit EliteSportsbook.com for terms and conditions. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
I've seen the worst things that can possibly happen. This isn't even close to that.
He's back on your radio. Greeny.
I have always felt basketball is a game where the team that has the best player wins. The Lakers would have the 2 best players.
Greeny, covering the top stories with the biggest names. Plus, breaking news.
Only in football do we wonder this aloud, and I just thought it was worth spelling out all of the ways in which Brady changed everything.
Greeny, weekdays at 11 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Janae and Golick Jr.
You can still push forward playing. It's an impossible tightrope. Was it really worth it for you to have to go and mobilize? Is it worth it overall? And that's the hardest thing for me to reconcile when you have a season that looks like the odds of you making it to where you want to go are very slim, and now you're putting people in position where it's not their best luck either.
Janae and Golick Jr., 306 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170.
JCPenney's Black Friday is on now. Shop thousands of deals this weekend in-store and at jcp.com. Get select 1/10 carat diamonds for $19.99 each. Or shop select Levi's for him and her at 40% off. Or you can use this week's coupon to get an extra 30% off across the store. Need your order fast? Choose free curbside pickup. Joy, comfort, peace. JCPenney. Offers valid 11/20 to 11/22. Conditions and exclusions apply. Offers and coupons do not apply to Levi's or jewelry. See store or jcp.com for details.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
If you don't think analytics are a useful tool in winning games in sports, then what you should do is when you go to the racetrack, you should just pick horses based upon which one you think is the prettiest. You should disregard everything else you might find in a racing form. You should pick stocks based upon how much you like the names of the companies. Disregard information that might help you make an informed decision. You wouldn't do that because you're not an idiot, and neither are the people running sports teams and making decisions. Analytics are a great example of something that has turned into a hot-button topic as we've attached a fancy or frightening word to a very simple concept. Analytics are just the things that have happened. That's all they are. They're just telling you what's happened. In the past, this has happened.
Greeny, weekdays at 11, a Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170.
Hey, Axel and everyone at the Midwest Animal Assisted Therapy and Education Organization Community Outreach Center at North Park Mall want to say Happy Veterans Day to all our men and women who have served in the armed forces. On November 21st and 22nd, they'll be showing the documentary To Be of Service at 1 and 4 each day. Right, this is the story of veterans that have come home from service, the post-deployment struggles they have, and the service dogs that are helping them with everyday life. Right, seating is limited, so go to covid19esa.org. Click on the screening schedule, then contact us to reserve your time and seats. It's free, and there will be veterans with their service dogs to answer questions after the screening. I'll tell them. Axel and friends invite you to the Midwest Animal Assisted Therapy and Education Organization Community Outreach Center in North Park Mall, November 21st and 22nd. Go to covid19esa.org for more info, a link to the trailer, and to reserve your seats.
Janae and Golick Jr.
Janae, through all of, listen, Russell Wilson, we know he's a lot, from Mr. Unlimited to the weird video announcing his contract staying in Seattle, the bubble water, his bad dance moves behind Sierra's music videos. Through all of it, he's still winning. I would trust him and Tyler Lockett with my PIN number, with any amount of money that I needed in my life. These guys are the surest bet in pro sports right now, and it's nice. We always like to say give people flowers while they can still smell them. Russell Wilson has been this quarterback. This is not a new version of him as far as I'm concerned, but it's a new version of this team putting its offense in his hands. He's getting all of the conversation around him and his ability that he's richly deserved for a while. And so in the interest of giving people their flowers, I'm really happy to see this, like, on a fundamental level for a guy who's been playing this kind of ball and been meeting this kind to his team.
Janae and Golick Jr., 306 on the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170. When you're listening to the best sports talk, you know you found your sports leader. ESPN 1170 AM.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. AM 1170, brought to you by Done Right Satellite and Dish.
We got to do our pick six for the weekend.
We got 6, Jay. We got 6 against the spread and 6 over-unders. I wrote them out yesterday, gentlemen. I went back through this morning. There were some line changes, and then were some over-under changes.
Yep, and we didn't talk about the news in New Orleans. Taysom Hill, named starter.
I was going to say, it's news to me. What's going on?
Taysom Hill, it's not going to be Jameis. According to reports, he's been taking the starting snaps all week long.
Wow.
My first real waiver wire moves this week were Taysom Hill.
Dude's talented.
They think he is. They gave him a contract.
I like him.
He's got more money this year than he's making more money this year than Cam is.
Does it surprise anybody? I don't know.
Not when you're paying him that much, no.
I mean, we've all seen Jameis, right?
He's Slash 2.0.
Yeah.
he's
forgot about Slash.
He's Slash White .0 is what he is.
That's funny.
Cordell Stewart.
Yeah. So
if he has a good game.
Yeah, I'm going to start him.
If he has a good game, no. Listen, if he has a good game, where's the talk? Are they trying to retire Breeze?
Do you think they're going to switch? Do you think they have a package for him as far as plays?
They already have it. It's funny. We were just talking about the package.
It's on a long range package.
We were just talking about the package.
Right.
What are they going to run? They're going to run some Wildcat with this guy.
Absolutely.
You're not going to know what to do with this guy.
Exactly.
Watch how dangerous Alvin Kamara becomes when.
Oh yeah.
You don't know if he's going to run the ball or if Taysom Hill's running the ball. Oh, and I've barely seen the guy pass, so that's going to be the interesting part.
I've never seen him pass either. I just seen him run.
Yeah.
I seen him do like
It'll
a little,
be fun.
I seen him do a Tim Tebow
hold
dunk
on.
pass.
I've got.
Well, they picked the perfect
I've
defense
got
to
the
start
Pro
it
Football
against.
Reference up.
Falcons.
You're not gonna like this when I give you his stats. By the way.
Who? Taysom Hills?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
It's
Is it bad?
Yeah, they're not good.
He said, "Yeah."
He was from BYU and he had some injured years there too. There's no doubt he's talented.
Am I getting BYU stats or am I getting
No,
his
I'm giving you
NFL stats?
I'm giving you NFL stats. But it's you know what happens every time I do this, it just spins or whatever else. But he doesn't have like a lot of.
The internet here's the best. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, I don't mind it. But all right, let me. Here's Taysom Hill for you. I think here we go. Yeah, give me the. Come on, load it up. All right, I'll give you his.
Pineapple's not bad, guys.
Yeah,
It's
I'll
pretty
give you.
good, huh?
Give me a career here.
I'll bet he's got 55% completion percentage.
I bet you don't even have that.
Really?
I'm pretty sure he's like 45 or something.
God, I can't beat that.
45 or 50.
I'll bet he's throwing less than 30 passes.
Oh, for sure.
But he's got a bunch of touchdown passes. Like let's say he's throwing 30 passes, but I guarantee he's got like 8 touchdown passes.
Probably.
Why
I
do
told
they
you they do that Tim Tebow, those Tim
Yeah.
Tebow plays.
The jump shot.
Yep.
Okay, in 3 years,
Okay.
his career.
Yep.
What'd you say his completion was?
Well, give me. I
Hold
say
on.
it's 55%.
Okay,
so
what do you
I say
do you
a
have
total
any
of
guess?
45.
I
Okay.
say a total of 30 passes.
Hold on, it is 55%.
Oh, sweet.
Wow, look at me.
He's 10 of 18
Oh.
with one interception.
10 of 18.
Yeah,
1 INT. All right. All right.
But,
how many
yeah.
touchdowns?
none.
Oh, none?
None. No.
None?
No.
Oh, so he's way off.
He has
way out, yeah.
0.
I got that. I got that completion percentage right.
Yeah, but he has.
10 of 18.
Yep.
Oh my God.
He has 98 career rushes for 538 yards,
That's not
4
bad.
touchdowns for an average of 5.5 per carry.
That's not bad.
Receiving, he's got 37 targets, 28 receptions, 11.1 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. So they're gonna find
So he's got 15 total touchdowns.
they're gonna find a way to move him around
on
with
the
his
air,
legs.
on the ground.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm so far behind in fantasy. I'm starting Taysom.
Well, you should. Your team's terrible.
I know. So,
Who was your other starting quarterback?
huh?
Who was your other starting quarterback?
Oh, you don't want to know what I'm doing.
The best team. I mean, the best thing about your team is your logo.
I'm starting him over D-Dub.
Really?
Yeah, why not? I got Michael Thomas. I got to double up. I'm telling you, I got to double up.
Who are you playing?
I don't know. Probably someone. I think it's someone in first place. I got a good start though.
Beat him. Whoever it is,
Yeah.
beat him. I need someone to lose.
Because
I got to stay in the playoffs.
Edmonds from Cardinals last night got me a good start. So.
Oh yeah, I traded him.
Yeah, there you go. See.
Welcome.
All right. Can you do me a favor? And I know we're on air. This isn't typical or whatever else. But can you start this, and I can catch up? I'm going to call Peggy to make sure that we're still good to go. Okay.
All right. So you want me to start the pick 6?
You can start the pick 6 with Cal, and I'll catch up. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Cal.
You left us in the room alone.
Uh-oh. Dead's away.
He might get mad about something I say.
We can't hit the kill button from here. I hope no one swears.
This is facts.
All right, Cal.
Pick 6.
Pick 6. I say this is going to be one of the more interesting games of the week.
Okay.
Tennessee at Baltimore.
Tennessee at Baltimore.
Baltimore is now only favored by 5. It went down 1.5 from yesterday. Now remember, I saw a stat.
Yeah.
Quarterback rating for Lamar Jackson last year, 90.5. This year, 66.5.
Eesh. I meant to go with Tennessee, man, on that.
I'm going to take Tennessee plus the points?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the plus.
I think Tennessee's had their number, irregardless of whether I'm getting points or not. So I think I'm taking Tennessee as well.
Was it plus 3?
Plus 5.
Plus 5.
Plus 5 if you're taking Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm picking them.
Well, he's still going to have to keep playing catch up because I'm not stopping for him.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. I know who you're taking, but Miami at Denver. Miami is favored by 3.5.
Well, I'm going to take the plus 3 in Denver.
I knew that. And you know I'm taking Miami.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Now, this is the game, Cal. This might be the game of the week.
Dallas, Minnesota.
How'd you know? How did you guess?
Because you decked out Dallas gear.
Representing. There's no way Dallas should even win this game.
Yesterday, somebody questioned your loyalty. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. See?
I'm coming in with my Dallas stuff.
I did my laundry. What's up?
What's up?
Okay. Wait, what am I at? What am I?
All right, I'll let you catch up.
Yeah.
All right, we had Tennessee at Baltimore for the first pick. Baltimore is only -5 now.
Okay,
It came
trending
down from
down.
-6.5 yesterday.
Oh boy. Baltimore's at home.
Baltimore's at home. I pointed out to Cal. Lamar Jackson, his quarterback rating last year, 90.5. This year, 66.5.
Yeah.
Now, I don't think that's all on him, but the MVP is not playing like an MVP right now.
I might. I don't even know what did I take on to win this game? Did I take Tennessee?
On the pick'ems?
Yeah.
On the pick'ems, you took Tennessee.
Then I have to take the points. I can't go against it. Although Baltimore's defense is much better than Tennessee's by a lot, according to DVOA.
I picked Baltimore on that aspect. I picked them.
Yes.
I picked them. But as far as like point wise, I have to pick Tennessee.
He's taking the +5.
Yep.
All right, Jake, can we get a hell yeah for that one?
I like that. Then, yeah, we can if I was ready to do whatever. Yeah.
Hey, you just said give you time to catch up.
I know. Yeah.
All right, you didn't say anything about
Is that
sound
it?
effect.
Was that the only game I missed? Okay.
I'll give you a hint. This one's Miami and Denver. Guess who we picked?
What's the spread in this one?
-3.5 Miami.
Ooh. Well, both their defenses are similar in DVOA, so I'm going with it. Is it at Miami?
At Denver.
Ooh, that sucks.
Yes, baby. Brandon Trent, you hear this? You hear this, baby?
Is Drew Lock going to have that many turnovers again against that Miami defense?
That's the thing. Give it up 4 interceptions, man.
3.5 on the road in Denver.
Denver's just been beat up a lot this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to take Miami here. I'm going to give up the points.
I mean, Cortland Sutton's out. That hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
all right.
That hurt me.
Now, what I was saying is this next game, Jay, definitely probably the game of the week.
Okay.
Dallas at Minnesota. There's no way Dallas loses this game. I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm being opposite of what I want.
Yeah. Optimism is great.
No. I'm being opposite of what I want.
Oh, opposite of what you want.
So
right.
see, if I keep saying they're going to win, then they'll for sure lose.
Yeah.
So I'll take Dallas +7 all day.
I do not know this, so can you tell me, is Andy Dalton going to start for them?
I've been following my guy Patrick with the Lone Star Voice on Twitter, and nothing has come through. I just know that he's cleared to play, but they have not named a starter that I've seen.
See, that makes a difference, though.
Yeah. I think, it does. Because I think Andy Dalton gives you less of a chance to win than Gilbert Grape.
I'm not saying he's wrong.
And Gilbert
Grape looked great.
I'm not saying it. Listen, I watched that game he was in, and it really looked like they just coached to his strengths, and which was just a bunch of out routes. They didn't make him stretch the field, and they actually moved the ball pretty well against him.
You're not going to win that way, though.
He's had 2 weeks under that offense, but the problem is that, I need to know.
Cal, what are you taking?
Oh, I'm taking the -7 in Minnesota.
All right.
You hear that, Rashad?
Hope you're
Jordan? Right. I picture little Minnesota Vikings. Victoria.
What? And you took the Cowboys, T-Ray?
Yeah, because I want to ensure they lose.
Okay.
I'm going for draft pick, baby.
That's so weird.
Well, sometimes you just got to fold them. Yeah, like Kenny Rogers says.
I'm
Listen,
content with the fact that they're not good.
This defense isn't going to stop Dalvin Cook, and that's all Minnesota really needs to get going. Close. So Andy Dalton is listed as a starter. Garrett Gilbert will be the backup, and I will give up the 7.
Well, I hope you guys are right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, second best game of the week. Green Bay at Indianapolis. Indy's still only favored by 1.5.
I'm taking Green Bay on that, bro. I'm taking the +1.
Jay Foster?
1
and a hook.
I don't like this game at all because the thing with Aaron Rodgers is if the defense smacks him across the face in the first half, he'll quit in the second half.
Yeah, he's a crybaby.
But they let Jacksonville stick around, which makes me feel like it was more of a, all right, Jacksonville, whatever. We're really looking forward to Indianapolis.
You're right.
What did I take?
Oh, in the pick'em?
Yeah.
You took Green Bay, sir.
Yep, because I don't really like Indianapolis. Sorry out there, Indianapolis fans. Sorry, Mitch. Garrett. I'm taking Green Bay then.
Jay's taking Green Bay. I'm sorry. I can't see Phillip Rivers outdueling this guy. And then when it goes to coaching, I'd say the coaches are evenly matched, Jay.
Hit it, bro.
So then you hit, yeah, I'm taking Green Bay.
Give me a hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Vodka, tequila. What?
Then, Erickson, maybe your Green Bay Packers will be the number 2 ranked team. You never know. All right, guys. Kansas City at the Vegas Raiders. We all know who Leah's taken. I'm just going to put her down for Kansas City. They are favored by 8, though, now. It's gone up another point.
That's a big dog, home dog.
In Vegas.
Yeah. And then, I mean,
that's a
is it,
point since yesterday.
Remember, I tried to change it. I tried to change yesterday, but I couldn't because I already committed to it.
I would have let you change.
No, I just.
But you're picking them.
Yeah.
But now you can take them and get the points too.
I'm gonna pick them.
The Vegas?
Yeah.
Okay.
What is it? +8.
Yeah, you get a +8. Give me the Chiefs -8.
Really?
I don't like the 8, but I mean, right now it's the turn now.
Yeah,
it's the turn of the season. Everyone's looking at that 1 seed possibility. They can't lose any ground on the Steelers. That's where I'm at.
In the same turn, Vegas can't lose any ground on Kansas City.
I know.
8's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'll give you the Chiefs winning the game.
I don't think they're going to win by 8.
8's a lot. I'm going to take Vegas plus the 8. I'm sorry if you're giving me a touchdown and a point. I'd start with that.
It's a fair point. Is that the end of our pick 6?
No, sir. We got one more. That's only 5.
Rams, Tampa Bay.
There you go, Cal.
This is going to be something else.
The spread has been stuck at 4 all week long.
For Tampa?
Tampa Bay -4.
I can't go with it. Rams +4.
Wow.
I have to, man.
Okay.
I think it's going to be closer to what people think.
I actually agree with this. The Rams are going to put pressure on Tom Brady. He does not like to be hit. Nope. Although Tampa Bay's defense has the number 1 total DVOA, Rams are they're only at 8 and they should be up higher. It's just strange. That's what shows the faults of the DVOA.
On that front line, bro.
Where they're going to put Patrick Ramsey, I mean, a few times over Evans, but T-Roy, to your point yesterday, they're still Goodwin and Godwin. He's still going to play.
Still Evans.
There's still Gronkowski. There's all that other stuff. So the 4 there, I have Tampa Bay winning this game in our pick 'em because the West Coast to East Coast, both teams, this is a must win. I'm going to take the +4.
There you go.
All right, here's why I'm taking Tampa.
Okay.
I saw what happened to the Rams when they played a fledgling good defense in Miami 2.5 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, whatever it was. They got dominated. Jared Goff turned the ball over a lot.
Right.
All right, because they got pressure up the middle. This is Dominic Sue.
Yep.
This is Sam Darnold before Sam Darnold.
Yep.
They do have good corners. They do have a good secondary. I don't really fear anybody in the Rams secondary. Now, do I think the Rams can probably hold Tom Brady a little bit? Yeah, I think you can see that.
Right.
But I don't think that they're going to have enough firepower to throw up points. You know what I'm saying? I think that Tampa Bay defense is going to be too tough for the Rams and that the Buccaneers are going to be actually able to run the ball.
Right.
They might be able to upset Brady, but I think they're going to be able to run the ball with our Rojo third.
Right.
And that's why I'm taking Tampa Bay.
But is their O-line tough enough to handle that front line of
I think
LA?
so. I think so. That hippie at center, that's the one that he'll be going straight up against Sam Darnold, or not Aaron Donald.
So let's put a pin on this and come back to it. We'll recap what we did for the pick six, and we'll do our over-unders, okay? Because we have to make a phone call. We're going to call Peggy Kaczynski. She's a sports reporter that worked at NBC 5 Sports in Chicago. She started off working in Bristol, Connecticut for ESPN. She got her BS in radio and television from Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, and she also worked for in Chicago radio at WMAQ. She's been working at NBC5 since 2000. She's won 12 Emmys, 2 National Emmy Awards while a producer at ESPN, 6 local Midwest Emmy Awards, including 4 at NBC5, which includes a 2007 Outstanding Achievement for Individual Excellence on-camera sportscaster. She is a native of Chicago from the Northwest Side. She was an All-City, All-State basketball player. She now has a podcast that she does with her son. I've listened to it. She anchored in the 2000 Summer Olympic Games from Sydney. She helped produce the 96 ones. She's done things all over. You know our show. You know we champion all people, and especially now with Kim Ng being named the GM, there's a lot of things going on with women in sports, and we always like to have this on, just a little different flavor of what people are doing. Peggy has a lot to share with us, and we maybe have her for 15 minutes, maybe more, but we're going to give her a call. She knows we're going straight to air. She should. Just talked to her on the phone. But you have questions for her, let her know. But we're going to ask her about her background, where she came from.
I love her.
Yeah, she's great. So, you want to bring her in?
You bring her. She knows your voice.
Hello, this is Peggy.
Hey, Peggy, this is Jay at ESPN 1170. Don't Hassle So Local. We're in studio. I've got Cal with me, and I've got Troy with me as well, so you might hear some different voices.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Peggy. Welcome to the show.
Peggy, I kind of gave a little background of everything that you've done, including your 12 Emmys that you've had, and starting in Bristol, Connecticut, going to Southern Illinois, which we know well around here in Eastern Iowa, Western Illinois. You're a Chicago native and everything else, but can you just give us a little bit more of your background in sports and becoming a sportscaster?
Yeah, it's funny. I'm one of 10 children. I have 7 brothers, and I was, back in the 70s, we would be called tomboys. Yeah. I was a little athlete playing softball, and in Chicago it would be 16 softball. Softball, volleyball, basketball. I just played whatever sport was in the season, and I was very good at it. I was all-city in Chicago, all-state in high school. I think it was like second team all-state. It's been a while, so I do forget.
Peggy, we've got a really bad connection. There's a lot of static. So, yeah, it's coming off. It's not like when I talk to you on the phone. There's a lot of static going on. Can I call you right back, and hopefully we get a better connection?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, thanks, Peggy. I'll call you right back, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Yay, live radio.
Well,
I think she had it on speaker.
Yeah, she might have. I don't know, but that's not how she sounded at all when I talked to her. So,
well, let's hope it connects better.
Yeah.
Well, either way, I have some questions lined up for you guys. Definitely, when we get into it, I want to ask her about the Bulls pick. Ask her about the Epstein leaving. La Russa.
Yeah.
And I want to ask her about the Bears.
Yes.
State of the Bears.
Ooh, the La Russa question is great.
Please be a better connection.
Hello.
Hey, you sound
so
normal,
much better.
Peggy.
Yeah. All right.
Good.
So from what I could hear, as you were saying that growing up in Chicago, you played a lot of softball, and you said back in the day you would have been known as a tomboy, and then it was kind of cutting out from there.
Yeah, so I was really an athlete back in the 70s and was all-city, all-state in basketball. And when I was heading off to college, I just kind of thought,
Oh, no.
Cut off.
Maybe this is the interview that just wasn't supposed to happen, boys.
She might be still there.
Hope so.
Peggy?
Can you hear
one
me?
more time.
Daggone it.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, it happens to you, it happens to us. Right here on Don't Hassle Us a Local, and everybody knows what it's like to have a drop call, or hell, sometimes it just happens when I'm trying to hear Jay's voice.
We'll do a Cal Reed interview. I played baseball at Kirkwood University and Blackhawk.
Cal, for all of us.
Hold on a second. Shh. It's obviously it's going to ring. We're going to know when she comes on or whatever else, but.
Yeah.
Or it goes straight to voicemail.
Yeah. She says, I've had it with these guys.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I've never had it this bad.
It's 5G in Chicago.
Well, you've reached Peggy, sort of.
All right. Maybe she can call us back. I don't know. That's a...
You know why we're waiting? Cal, you got to stand up. We got to show everybody this shirt.
You see that?
This is something special, everybody. If you haven't seen that, it's the Avengers sweatshirt for when they go time traveling.
That's right.
It's pretty nice.
It's the best.
Where'd you get that at?
I ordered online.
Yeah?
Yep. I think it was Poshmark or something.
Pretty sharp. Pretty sharp.
I wanted the whole outfit. Kayla was like, "You're not wearing the whole outfit around the house." I'm like, I want the whole outfit.
Yeah, the one from the movie.
That's right.
Yeah.
I wanted the padded one and everything.
Yeah. That's nothing weird to wish for.
No, it ain't.
Christmas is coming up.
That's
she should
right.
be able to buy that for you.
I want it.
Well, it's too bad, Jay. Hopefully she can get hold of us. Want to see how she feels about that Bulls pick, first rounder. Hoyer, is he going to be able to do what Espn did?
Yeah.
But better yet, we're in the middle of the NFL season.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What's going on with Pace? What's going on with Nagy? What's the feelings within the city of Chicago? I mean, because I'm telling you, I think these two are on the hot seat.
The hot seat is the thing is like this. They need to change their package for Foles. They have to.
Well, he broke now.
Yeah.
I mean, I get what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
But at the same time, are you to the point where Pace has made so many poor decisions as GM, and you're bringing a new GM? Obviously, the new GM, Nagy might not be his guy. I don't know. I mean, because Pace is the one that got rid of Fox, who came from your Denver Broncos.
He lost 4 in a they lost 4 in a row, man. Bears.
Well,
4 games straight. And it's not like they were blown out games. These games that they could have won.
It's possible.
You see what I'm saying? These are games they could have won.
But as a general manager, I think he's not giving this team enough weapons. And not taking. I mean, the defense is great.
You got to understand the injury. You lost your best running back to somebody on his own team that hurt him.
Oh, I get it, but is David Montgomery a good running back?
Let's see if this third time's a charm.
All
you
right.
ready?
Yep. Peggy?
Hopefully third time's a charm.
Yes, that's what we just said.
That's what we just said.
I just told my entire life story to nobody.
Oh my God. It just went silent. All right. So going back.
That's crazy.
All right,
So-
you're all
so
city.
where
You were all
did we
city.
leave off?
Okay, you were all city, all state in basketball, and then you decided to go down to Carbondale.
And did I tell you the story about my brother's apartment?
No.
Or did I lose? Okay.
Yes.
So I went down to Carbondale. I thought, the only thing that girls did back in the late 70s, early 80s that I knew as a job was they were PE teachers. They were your coaches. And so I just kind of assumed I was going to become a coach, teaching, PE somewhere. And while I was at Carbondale, I joined the communications building, and I started out in drama. I liked drama, but I really kind of wasn't one of those theater people, so that wasn't really, doing great. I was looking at speech stuff. And while I was walking around the building, I stopped at a bulletin board, and the bulletin board had auditions for, radio dramas, and then it had auditions for radio news and radio sports and the television campus newscast. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is interesting. I wonder if I could do this. And so I started considering it, and, didn't know that a woman would do anything like that. Didn't know if I was really cut out for news. And lo and behold, I walked into my brother's apartment, who was also going to school at SIU Carbondale. And none of the guys in the room turned around when I walked in. And I thought, well, what are they watching on TV that has them so glued? And lo and behold, it was ESPN Sports Center. And I asked them, what is this? And they said, oh, it's this new channel that's all sports all the time. And as I turned to look at the TV, there was Gail Gardner hosting Sports Center. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's it. I didn't know women could do this. That's what I want to do. And so I tell people all the time, all it takes is one person to set an example, one female cop, female firefighter, a doctor, a nurse, a dentist, a sportscaster. And for me, that's what all it took to show me that that's what I could be. And I switched over, and SIU Carbondale had a fantastic radio television program, and that is where I started. That's how I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Now,
sweet.
You grew up on the north side of Chicago, is that correct?
Northwest side.
The best
Northwest
side. The best side.
No, my wife's family is from there, up in the area, and her late uncle who just passed away grew up in that very area, and he was childhood friends with someone you might know, Mike North.
Oh, yeah, sure. I first met Mike North in a bar, which isn't a surprise.
Right.
But, before I broke in Chicago, I would be home visiting, either from school on break, whatever, and we had a local bar on the northwest side called Tommy's on Higgins. And Higgins Road was where it was located. And Mike North used to go in there. And, that to me, that was my master's degree, was hanging out in a pub talking sports with guys. Because if you could hang and you had an opinion and you had knowledge, then I felt like I was on to something. And sure enough, when I got my first job in Chicago at Chicagoland TV, I had never been on air. Well, I had 1 or 2 days of on-air experience filling in at a station. And the news director said to me, you talk sports like you're sitting in a bar just hanging out. And I said, well, that's where I learned how to talk sports. And he said, don't ever change. He said, don't ever change. Whatever you do, keep that approach. And so that's kind of always been my approach, is to be really conversational, very down home, kind of literally like if you were sitting there. I tell students, if you're at home at the kitchen table, talk like you're talking to your family about, oh, did you just see what the Cubs did? That kind of thing. For me, it was, sitting in a bar, hanging out, talking sports.
Well, let's pretend we're at a virtual bar, and we're going to ask you some Chicago sports questions that have been plaguing us.
All right.
First thing, just a couple days ago, or a day ago, I should say, the Bulls draft Patrick Williams. Your thoughts on the pick?
Well, if it's only a 3-deep draft, then really what you do after that should be okay. The thing is, we don't know enough about the new administration, coaches, general manager, Arturas Kanishevich with the Bulls. We don't know enough about them to applaud it. Obviously, it's kind of a head scratcher. You go, okay, freshman, okay, guy just turned 19, and it's a reach to, say, oh, this is the next Scottie Pippen, but it was he comes from a great program, really deep. My background is so much in the Bears that I loved when Ryan Pace was hired, and yet, you just can't jump on the bandwagon too quickly to applaud it and be like, great pick, great, I love this idea. You just got to go, okay, maybe. Let's see how it goes.
It's funny you bring up Ryan Pace. We were just talking about it while we were kind of hoping that we were going to get back in touch with you.
Yep.
And Cal and I were kind of going over the fact, do we feel that Pace and Nagy are on the hot seat by chance, and how does the city of Chicago feel? And you're there, so I guess that's why we ask.
Yeah. Oh, boy. The city is up in arms. Listen, let's go backwards. So Matt Nagy, they get rid of their offensive coordinator, their offensive line coach, Harry Heastand's gone. Matt Nagy is still there. Tried calling plays again, has given up play calling duties for one game, and it really didn't seem to make much of a difference. But what I always said is, listen, you give up play calling duties, that's your first admission that you have failed at something. And it's one thing for a long-time head coach to be able to do that and keep some job security. It's a whole other thing for a first-time head coach who is failing already. So, you've done the coaching changes, the assistant coaching changes. You still have your head coach in place. You still have your general manager in place. So what's the next step next year? Something's got to happen because you've already made changes. This is just like when Lovie Smith was let go.
Yep.
He was a winning coach, and they did not make it to the playoffs despite 11 wins. And something has to change. It's the culture of Hallis Hall that has to change. And I don't think it's going to be Ryan Pace. And I say that because the Bears McCaskey family holds very dear to them the people that they like and they trust. And right now that's Ted Phillips and Ryan Pace. And Ryan Pace has already been all over promoted by the team as, being behind all the changes at Hallis Hall in terms of their workout facilities and, the vision for the entire program. But I would say let's take it one step further, and you have changed coaches before Matt Nagy. You have changed general managers. What they haven't changed is above them, and that's Ted Phillips, who is the family's accountant. He's the family's accountant. There's no other way to look at it, and that family trusts him with everything. He knows all the family's secrets when it comes to the future of the team and the future ownership. He's not going anywhere, but what they need to do is bring in the Theo Epstein of football, the John McDonough type of guy that, he wasn't a hockey guy, and yet the Blackhawks plucked him away because he knew how to run the front office and how to build the team into a winning team. They need that kind of a person. I don't know that they are willing to do that in a COVID pandemic year when there wasn't a lot of money coming in. So there's a lot of pressure around this team. Something has to change. I'm just not really sure, and I'm not convinced they know how to do it.
So do you actually think, I'm sorry, I know you got a question, but do you actually think that the general manager now, Pace, he's bringing in something for the future? Is he bringing stuff in for the future, or are they just trying to be stagnant and just go with the flow? Because Chicago Bears need a Super Bowl. They need one, and they need the personnel for it. And it doesn't look like they're looking for that.
Well, they thought they had it with Mitch Trubisky. They have built the team around defense. They have spent Porsche dollars on the defense and on the defensive line, and they basically have an IKEA type of car on the offensive line.
Right.
I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah, for sure.
Very
For sure.
good analogy, though. That's you nailed it right.
You can tell she's from Chicago. She's like IKEA. It's just right.
I mean, seriously.
Right.
It's pathetic that Trubisky was such a reach But now we're not even sure that Trubisky was the problem, because now Nick Foles comes in and that offense still sucks. You know, the play calling still stinks. You know, I think that Pace thought he had a window when he got Khalil Mack, and they went out and spent another $30 million on Robert Quinn. And I would say that this window probably has 2 years left. So I don't know what they're going to do, but you need to put everything into the offensive side before everyone leaves in free agency, and then you become the Bulls, where you're almost an afterthought. And the Bears never consider themselves an afterthought, and I just don't know that they have the foresight, though, to fix it quick enough.
Well, you know, and kind of talking about windows closing in those things, and something near and dear to both Cal and I's heart are the Cubs.
Yes.
And the window of Epstein is closed. And in comes Hoyer, obviously the man in waiting. But I would have to say, if my criticism is correct of Epstein, things weren't done to necessarily make sure this team could continue to be successful enough for the future. And do you feel the same way? And what do you think's going on with our Cubbies?
Well, I think that they were hopeful that last year was going to that they were going to fix all their hitting woes going into last season,
right,
which is why they didn't get rid of any of their big name players. But you know, if you want to be the New England Patriots, you need to get rid of them when their value is high. And boy, they're starting to take the turn on some of those guys. We all thought after the World Series, Kyle Schwarber, that would have been the time to then trade Kyle Schwarber to an American League team looking for a DH. You know, he had such a great comeback story.
I love her.
After the World Series, that's what they should have done with Kyle Schwarber. Sell while his value was high. You know, now Chris Bryant is, I would think that is where they're going to get the most value. He's got to be on the block right now. You know, they still want to keep someone like Anthony Rizzo, but you have to be able to turn over on a yearly basis. You can't be afraid to let go of players that you love if it's going to bring back some value to the team. And last year they didn't do that. And now I think they're stuck this year. I think they're stuck with some aging players, and they need to bring in some young talent that is going to stick around and kind of be the next generation for that team.
Yeah, we have guys. Oh, I'm sorry, but like, I'm sorry, because we'll be talking about Cubs. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have our average age right now is like 30, 31.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like, okay, you got Baez, you keep him, obviously. You keep Contreras, of course. Like you said, Rizzo and Bryant. I mean, I love those guys.
Yeah,
they're great players. But the thing is like this: if we're gonna try to get World Series in the future, exactly,
you need arms.
You need arms. We need pitchers.
Yeah,
we don't have consistent pitchers. And the thing is like this: we went out and we got people that were a little bit past their prime and thought they were still going to do something in Chicago, and they haven't. You know what I'm saying? They're inconsistent. So I'm with you on that 100%. We love these players, but it's about time, you know, they go do their own thing. You know,
you have to be able to be willing to part ways while their stock is high.
Yep.
You just have to. That's just, you know, there is no more dynasties of 10 years.
No.
You know, the Yankees winning every year. A dynasty window, you're lucky. There's no more back-to-back anymore.
No.
So
Nope.
you're lucky if you have a 3-year window
Mm-hmm.
of success with the same roster. You have to be willing to turn it over. And the only way to do it without it being really obvious is to each year take one player of value and get value in return.
Yes.
You can't wait after 3 years. Now it's going to be almost 5. So.
Peggy, we'll wrap up quick. I just wanted to hit. I know we have some White Sox fans that live here, and we have to talk about them because otherwise they yell at me after we get off the air. The hiring of La Russa, not a very popular hiring. And then obviously all the stuff going on with the DUI that he'd had back in February. Kind of what's your thought on it? What's the pulse of Sox fans there in the city? Did they want Big Hurt, or where are we at with White Sox fans in the managerial?
No, you know what? White Sox fans wanted A.J. Hinch. White Sox fans wanted a younger coach that was a part of the new generation of coaching, even though he was suspended this year. White Sox fans wanted A.J. Hinch. Now he's gone, inside the division, and they fear that that's going to come back to haunt them. Now, I will tell you this. Now, I grew up both a Cub and a Sox fan. I grew up when I was in 7th and 8th grade. I used to keep these booklets on the Cubs, and I would cut out every article about the Cubs and put it in this book. And Bill Buckner was my favorite player.
Yes.
Back in the days of Mick Kelleher, Buck, Ontiveros, Ivan DeJesus, the Russell brothers. I loved the Cubs, but my mom was a Sox fan, and they had free tickets, ladies' night on, I think it was like Tuesday night or something.
Sweet.
And so, coming from a big family, that was our way of going to a game. So we also went to a lot of Sox games. So I am that rare bird that actually truly is a fan of both teams. And people say you can't do it. I'm telling you, I really am. And I actually liked the La Russa hiring for this reason. I thought, well, if they have outsmarted everybody and went in the opposite direction with truly, I don't know if anyone can argue that he is the most brilliant baseball mind alive today in baseball, right? Then, gosh, maybe, how much does a manager do? Well, he manages the pitching staff, right? That's something that Tony La Russa can definitely do. Now, his age, I don't know. Dusty Baker was hired, and he's in his 70s. The age thing really didn't bother me. So I'm going to tell you this. I think Sox fans are upset that the pick was taken out of Rick Hahn's hands after Rick Hahn did such a fabulous job putting this roster together. It's an exciting team. This team has so much potential. They are the opposite of the Cubs in that they haven't even, begun to show their potential yet.
Young, strong team.
Their ceiling is high. If you want to give yourself some reason why you should like the La Russa hiring, listen to my podcast where I have Ryan Theriot come on. Cub fans remember Ryan Theriot. He played with the Cubs. He also played for the Cardinals in La Russa's last year. And he tells some great stories about Tony La Russa and why he thinks it was a genius pick, and that he thought, and this is before we knew about the DUI, the accusation, the charges. It's a great listen, and I'm telling you, it makes it very interesting if the Sox are going to, hope that the DUI charges go away and everything dies down and they're able to just play baseball. Then I'll tell you what, I think that these young kids on the White Sox would love to be managed by one of the greatest minds of the game. And I don't think it's going to be one of those where, oh, my God, he's all washed up. What does he know? I think he's smart enough to know how to adapt to the way the game is played today and to motivate this young squad. I'm telling you, it's an interesting listen. Listen to the sportscaster and her son. It's a great listen with Ryan Theriot about Tony La Russa. And maybe it'll change Sox fans' minds and bring them in off the ledge.
I was just going to plug the sportscaster and her son, but I do want to come back and talk to you about that because you do it with your son Jason, and I listened to the last one that you had with Dan Evans as a guest. So I will go back and listen to the Ryan Theriot one as well. But I do want to talk a little bit more before we just a few more minutes. I know you've got, but I want to talk more about your career and listening to your last podcast with Jason and a lot about Kim Ng and everything. And even when you talked about your career, like it was never about being a female sportscaster. You just wanted to be it was a sportscaster thing. But it is really important to point out that you were the first woman to host a sports talk show in Chicago on the radio. And I think that's an incredible thing that you were the first to do that. And when I first reached out to you and when you talk about meeting Mike North in a bar, it was just by chance that T. Roy and I were out at a bar and we ran into Donna and had a conversation with her. And that's how they got to here. So it's funny that we can...
A week ago.
Yes, it's funny that we can always connect through social media and reach out and say, hey, can you be a guest? But you still have that social interaction. And in this day and age, to have that face-to-face is weird, but we had it. And her to say, like, you should get a hold of this person. And that's how we got a hold of you, Peggy. But all that stuff, like, can I ask you a few questions about your career?
Yeah, sure.
Give me some of your favorite... what's your best thing you ever covered? Like, you're just like your go-to story that you're like, I can't believe I got to do this. It was the best.
Well, the first things I did in my career that were not on camera was covering Olympic Games. I went to ESPN as a production assistant, which is all behind the scenes. You basically, you're logging the games for all the ESPN SportsCenter anchors. And you're producing stories for them. When I left there, I went to work for CBS Sports out of New York, and I covered the Albertville Olympics in France, and I covered the Barcelona Olympics in Spain. I did Sydney Olympics for ABC Radio. I'm missing one. But anyways, by far, and these were all behind the scenes, I was a producer. It was working in Olympic Games, not on American soil, because you don't really get the emotion of the athletes as much as when you're away from home. To hear the anthem played when you're in another country, and I just can't explain it. It was emotional for me, and maybe it was because I was young. I was, 30 years old doing this and traveling around and not home in Chicago and, just kind of starting out in my career, that it to this day, it still makes me emotional every time I hear the anthem played. I just get choked up. And so for me, the greatest moments of my career were not on camera. They were actually covering the Olympics, because it taught me how to appreciate athletes and their accomplishments. It taught me to really appreciate, be able to take a step back and give it some perspective. So for me, yes, the Olympics. Now, on camera, I would say two things. Number one would be when I finally got back to Chicago, and I was working at Chicagoland Television just in time for the Bulls' second three-peat. And to be on the court when the last seconds ticked off, and to see Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan hug, embrace, and be in tears I will not ever forget that. I couldn't believe how lucky I was to be there to cover that in my new career of being a sportscaster. And then probably towards the end, the Blackhawks locker rooms during their Stanley Cup, their 3 Stanley Cups of the modern era, not the 60s, obviously not 1961, but the Kane and Taves era, because what we did for NBC's coverage, and I don't know if a lot of people in your audience realize this, but we went live in the locker room, and it was myself and my producer and my cameraman's idea. It was new technology back in 2006 to be able to go live inside the locker room. And we did that, and I was off the cuff doing interviews, and we call them gangbang situations, where it's just a horde of reporters surrounding the athletes in their locker stalls. and you're just inching your way in there trying to get your microphone, over someone's shoulder and just close enough to Jonathan Taves to be able to hear him, or Corey Crawford's, first comments after they win. And I had to be able to ad lib. I had to be able to speak loud enough that they would take my question above everyone else shouting theirs. And it was television gold because nobody else had done it. And people tuned in to NBC in Chicago like we had never had tuning in before, because we were doing something different. And in this day and age, it's really hard to do anything different anymore. And so I'm just super proud that I was a part of that before, choosing to end my career. So, I think the beginning of my career and towards the end of my career.
So you mentioned all that stuff, but then now you've gotten into the podcast world. And you mentioned it, the sportscaster and her son. How many episodes have you guys done?
35.
35.
We just posted our 35th episode with talking about Kim Ng, the Marlins' new general manager, as you mentioned that you listened to.
Yeah, and that was with Dan Evans, and he had great stories about her growing up, and obviously she's a Chicago native, and then she came back and she got hired by him at the White Sox, and then got rehired at the Los Angeles Dodgers. Am I correct on that?
So she is from the East Coast, but she went to college at University of Chicago, and then she applied for her internship with the White Sox. Yes, she was a softball player, captain of the team, and she applied for an internship with the White Sox, and she was one of 200 applicants, and she got it, and then was hired within a month because she was so good. They hired her, and that kind of started catapulting her career.
And then the podcast that you started with Jason, what was the idea behind it?
Well, do any of you guys have teenage sons, or have you ever had any teenage sons?
I got a 5-year-old daughter, and you're going to be her idol.
I have a 20-year-old son.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, Cal.
Okay, so you know what it's like with the 20-year-old. So at some point around the age of 14 or 15, they don't like you and they don't want anything to do with you
Absolutely
anymore.
not.
And, they just don't, they just kind of see themselves as being more mature. They become more independent. It's not so much they don't like you, but they really just start kind of pulling away from you. And I noticed it when I was, my boys they're twins, and when they were in 8th grade, this is when I thought, oh gosh, wow. They're going into high school, and they were going to be taking a 28-mile train trip every single day into downtown Chicago to go to high school. And here I was still, covering the Cubs and the Sox and the Bulls and the Blackhawks and the Bears. And, it was the beginning of when I thought, no, what am I doing? I've witnessed championships of every sport. The Bears went to the Super Bowl. I was able to cover the NFC Championship game with them, and Lovie Smith, and the Super Bowl with them. I covered 3 Blackhawks Stanley Cups. I covered the White Sox World Series, and the Bulls three-peat. And I said, well, gosh, if the Cubs ever win a World Series, then what am I sticking around for? I've also done Olympic Games. And so once the Cubs won the World Series, I said, I need to be home and spend more time around my boys before they're gone. And they really, truly, at this point in high school, then they didn't want much to do with me. And the only thing that we had in common was talking sports. And one son, Jason, really wanted to go into the sports broadcasting industry. He got a job when he was 14 and a half years old, writing for a website covering the White Sox, and called me when I was on a road trip with the Bears to tell me he got a job. And I thought this was crazy. He had done this on his own. He did it all himself, nothing to do with me. And I thought, gosh, they're going to grow up and be out of the house before I know it. So I really tried to convince him to do a podcast with me. And it took a year to convince him to do it with me. He thought podcasts were just for old people. Now he knows differently.
Mm-hmm.
Now he knows that, everybody listens to podcasts. And he finally agreed to do it. And he thought, gosh, this might be a good way for me to go off to college with a little bit of broadcast experience. And so that's how I finally convinced him. And so now he's a freshman at UT Austin, and he is actually working on the campus television station. So, yeah, that's how we started it. And it's also a way for me to continue my career since I'm really not doing any television anymore. So it's been great.
Let me tell you something.
Awesome.
Jason is very well spoken. He's very well prepared. His questions were great, and even Dan took the time to be like, "That's a great question, Jason." So it's really neat to hear him interview Dan and him kind of take a little bit of the reins of interviewing Dan during that podcast. But I'll go back and listen to some more. I've read here that you guys have had Tim Anderson from the White Sox on. You've had former NBA player Antoine Walker on. Like you mentioned, Ryan Terrio. You've had Hawk Harrelson on. Those are all great names, and it's awesome that you can reach out and get those people, and he can get that experience.
Yeah, and you can check out we have a website too, thesportscasterandherson.com, and I have blogs on there about each episode and why we chose the guests that we did. We have pictures of the guests that we've had. But I will tell you this, I am in trouble if we ever decide to videotape while we are taping the episodes, because there's a lot of typical mother-son eye rolls going on. A lot of that, hey, you were supposed to be prepared for this and you're not prepared, looking at each other, those dirty looks that parents can't help but give their kids. There's a lot of that, trust me, that goes on during the show. So one day, people keep telling me we should be videotaping it because it would make people appreciate it even more. But we're having fun. So as long as we're able to continue doing it, I'm happy.
That is fantastic. Peggy,
Awesome.
You've given us more time than you said you had for us. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you.
But we have to go to break. Your story is great, and like I said, it's not just about that you're, the first female sport, radio host, and you're a female sportscaster or anything like that. But we've had multiple. We've had from Jessica Kleinschmidt, who works for the Oakland Athletics, to Emily Hall, who covers college football all over the country, to an Iowa alum, Kimberly Bates, who now is working for iHeartMedia, Lucy Rodine, who works for Hawkeye Nation. We really champion females in sports, and to have someone like you who's been doing it this long and the greatest stories, we thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much.
Oh, I appreciate that. Absolutely, guys. Thank you. And if I could just ask your listeners, please go on to Apple and rate our podcast and give us 4 and 5 stars if you can, because then that moves us up the search engine even more. And I was more than happy to sit down and talk with you guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yep.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much, Peggy. You have a great day.
All right, guys.
Yep, take care. Yep.
Thanks.
So, I mean, after that, we got to go to break, but geez.
Yeah, I'm surprised we got that interview off, thank God.
How lucky is that? I mean, she's just unbelievable.
She's great.
And I got the whole Olympics thing was just going off when she's, out of all the things she's done.
I just wanted to hear, like, at times you could pick up on her accent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A little bit of Chicago coming out.
Yeah.
And that's why I just want to.
It came out when you started talking about the Bears.
Well, yeah.
She started feeling it.
Let's just talk a little bit of Bears, a little bit of Chicago sports, because we tend to. I mean, I know not all of us are quote unquote Bear fans or all Chicago team fans, but we get enough. But we have enough of our audience that loves all 4 of those teams that we had.
Ted Phillips is the idea. That he's never going away. He's the family accountant. Like that's amazing, So like. Those are the little inside things that, I mean, if you want to listen to 670 The Score, and
pay sustain. So we already know our answer to that.
They stick to people that they love, and then pay sustain. So he's not on the hot seat. So,
but I had to ask that question. I was like,
"Oh yeah,
what
you were dead
direction are
on."
they
And
going?
she's like, "Absolutely." So, but we do have to take a break because we went.
Roll in. I gotta do something.
All right.
You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah! I said, give me a hell yeah!
Hey, this is Goose, PA announcer for the Quad City Storm, and you're listening to Don't hassle us, we're local.
JCPenney's Black Friday is on now. Shop thousands of deals this weekend in-store and at jcp.com. Get select 1/10 carat diamonds for $19.99 each. Or shop select Levi's for him and her at 40% off. Or you can use this week's coupon to get an extra 30% off across the store. Need your order fast? Choose free curbside pickup. Joy, comfort, peace. JCPenney. Offers valid 11/20 to 11/22. Conditions and exclusions apply. Offers and coupons do not apply to Levi's or jewelry. See store or jcp.com for details.
Battles aren't won solely on the field. That's a common misconception. Battles are won within, over enemies of fear, enemies of doubt. In that place where promises are kept. Promises to oneself.
This is a physical training event.
Promises to one's community.
Healthy people move debris out of their house.
Promises to one's country. In the heart of every Marine, you'll find a promise. A promise forever kept. A promise of battles won.
For the brightest hand-selected diamonds, come to Dolan Jewelers. This is Will Dolan, and we want to offer the best diamond experience for every client and every occasion. At Dolan Jewelers, we carry the most popular shapes and sizes, as well as a huge inventory of lab-grown diamonds. With custom goldsmiths right here in our store, your experience will be convenient, easy, and fun. Visit us at 3865 Elmore Avenue in Davenport or online at dolanjewelers.com.
The holidays are right around the corner. Don't stress out finding that perfect gift for that hard-to-buy someone on your list. Shop Premier Metal Art. They do custom engraving on items like tumblers, promotional items, and other custom gifts. They even do holiday decor and family namesakes. These multi-layered, full-color, powder-coated metal art items are a must-have this holiday season. Customize your man cave or purchase a gift for a sports fan, a first responder, or even a veteran. Order now online at qcpremier.com or on Facebook. Finish your holiday shopping today.
I've seen the worst things that can possibly happen. This isn't even close to that.
He's back on your radio. Greeny.
I have always felt basketball is a game where the team that has the best player wins. The Lakers would have the two best players.
Greeny, covering the top stories with the biggest names. Plus, breaking news.
Only in football do we wonder this aloud, and I just thought it was worth spelling out all of the ways in which Brady changed everything.
Greeny, weekdays at 11 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
It's Weber Auto Group's Auto Fest now through the end of November. Weber Auto Group has more inventory than ever before and needs to move vehicles right now. Prices are slashed on every single vehicle on the lot. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs. It's an Auto Fest clear out event. Over 150 vehicles to choose from. There's never been a better time to save big this year. Weber Auto Group Auto Fest going on right now through November at the corner of Highways 84 and 92 in Silvis.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB Davenport.
What a fantastic Friday we're having here in the Hassle Castle. Everybody, thanks for listening and tuning in to Don't Hassle Us a Local. I just got a great interview over with. If you have to go back and listen to it, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, that was Peggy Kaczynski, former NBC5 sportscaster. She's worked for ESPN. She has done radio, and now she does a podcast. But yeah, you can go back to our Facebook Live or our YouTube Live, QC Hassle, Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, and listen to it. It starts, I would say, roughly, since we started at roughly about the 110 mark. Right?
Yeah,
we had some trouble interview, but
once
we got it going,
20 minutes
man,
or 30
it's just,
minutes. Yeah, once we got through the phone issues.
The best interviews are ones where you just shut up and listen. And she was just so good about every question she could go on, and she'd had it all nailed. And it really made me interested in going back and listening to her podcast with the sportscaster and her son about Ryan Terrio. So, but we got to jump right back into it. We've already done our pick six. So for this week, now we've got our over-unders. Yes?
Yeah, we got over-unders right now, guys. So, that being said, let's move right and move quick. Cincinnati at Washington. The over-under is 46.5 points.
Under.
Under for Cal.
That's an interesting under right away.
Come on, dude.
What do you mean? I mean, Washington defense really good. Chase Young, Burrows. I mean, how much
That's
do they
what
get
I
put
mean.
up?
I'm with
20
Cal. I think it's under.
I'm saying you said Washington's defense is good.
It's a team that I actually streamline every once in a while depending on the offense, and I'm actually starting them this week. Is Washington going to be able to put points in Cincinnati? Yeah, I'm with you. I'll go under. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Atlanta and New Orleans. This over-under has gone down.
Because Drew Brees isn't starting, and we don't know what we're going to get out of Taysom Hill.
I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a
50.
Oof. Mm-hmm. Do you guys really think that the Saints could put up 25 points?
I think the Saints are going to put up 25 points. I don't think Atlanta can put up that many points.
Okay.
So what are you going?
You're going under?
I don't know. I'm just questioning Atlanta's defense. The Saints' defense is a top 5 in DOA. Like,
It's fine. I'm still going over.
Against the rush, against the pass. Number 11 against the pass, though.
Because before Breeze got hurt, I saw the game on the schedule. I thought it was going to be like a shootout. But now things
50.
have changed.
50. They took the hook off.
Give me the over.
Okay.
Give me the over.
Cal? You're going under again. All right. Pittsburgh at Jacksonville. Over under 46.
Luton. 46. This is going to be a. What was it? What was the final score of that Cowboys Pittsburgh game? It was close, but I don't think it was. Was it 46?
I can't remember.
When did they get to 46?
I think Pittsburgh puts up 35. Do you think Jacksonville will be able to cover the rest?
Pittsburgh's not putting up 35.
Why not?
Because they're just not a team that pours it on like that. But Jacksonville's DVO is horrible now that I look at it. 35. Where's it at?
Jacksonville.
Doesn't matter. Jacksonville's not going to get it. 50?
Yep.
Luton.
No, 46.
Oh, Luton's got to come through.
Oh.
All right, Cal, if you say 35, Luton can get them 14. Give me the over.
Yes.
Cal?
Pittsburgh
Over.
35. Luton.
That's 3 overs.
Vladimir Luton 14.
All right, we got 3 overs. That's a hell
Yes.
All right.
This is going to be a big test for him. That's
New England at Houston.
Under.
48.5.
No.
All right, New England at Houston.
Under. They're not performing. Neither offense is performing nothing.
Give me that number again.
48.5.
I don't like that. I'm going under.
I'm going under as well.
Exactly.
I
don't think them in Baltimore didn't put the points up last week. Yeah. All right. Philly at Cleveland, 47.5.
Nope.
No.
No what?
Philly's not going to get
So you're saying
to
under?
17.
Both of you
Cleveland's
under?
yeah under. 21-17 Cleveland with the push.
I'm just going to go over to be the contrarian.
Okay.
All right. And the Jets at the Chargers, 46. I mean, if it's 46, the Chargers are going to have to score almost all 46.
No. Danny Dimes is good for 1 rushing and 1 passing. There's 14 right
The
there.
Jets, not the Giants.
Oh, the Jets. No, that changes everything.
So that'd be under.
Flascid's good for 7.
Was it 46?
The Chargers aren't going to put up that many under.
Yeah, under.
I agree.
You made some good picks this week, T-Roy.
I know.
The people usually like the scoring or whatever else, but those are some good picks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, real quick, you want to do it?
Fantasy? I think we can squeeze it in. How many minutes we got?
We've got just enough that we can
we
do
got 7 minutes.
Yeah, but we got just enough, and then we can run another ad, and it'll go out into outro. So we haven't run 2 ad blocks during this thing. So we're gonna look at DFS. Usually we've been doing golf DFS, but the Masters are over, and it is what it is, right?
Yep.
So now we're gonna do a DFS lineup, and maybe you guys want to get into them as well. So where do you want to start at? You want to start at quarterback? You got to need a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, flex, and a defense.
All right, here it is.
Yep.
How much for Justin Herbert?
He's the third most expensive at 6.8.
Third most expensive at 6.8.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Herbert.
Can I just tell you something real quick?
Yeah.
Just real quick. I want you to flirt with this idea.
Okay.
Taysom Hill is only 4.8.
Yeah, all right, I flirted with it. Bad idea.
You didn't even look it in an eye. You just he's like, no.
Oh, that's a bad idea.
He's like, nope.
Okay.
Herbert's been throwing up points every week.
Right.
Every week. All right.
Okay.
Running backs.
Mm-hmm. McCaffrey's out. Kamara's questionable.
I want
Chubb or
Nick
Henry.
Chubb.
Yes.
He is 7,000.
Yes.
He is probably the most. He's it doesn't matter.
How much
6
money
months
do I
over.
get to spend?
It's 50,000.
All right. How about it? How far? What am I?
You have 36.2 left with average of 5.1.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now I'm going to grab me one really good receiver here.
Okay.
And it's going to be the Green Bay Packers wide out.
Man, we are the same.
Do not say Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Devontae
He's
Adams.
questionable, which I
Is
should
he
have.
really?
I should have
Oh,
thought
what?
about that against the Packers and the Colts. That's going to be it's going to be really interesting. All right, so the latest news is that Matt LaFleur said Adams should be good to go for Sunday's game in Indianapolis.
Take Devontae.
He was a limited practice participant on Wednesday. You want to do it?
Yep.
He's 8.6. It's going to cost you.
Fine.
Okay.
All right. This is where I start getting running backs on the cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. From Detroit, I need DeAndre Swift.
Okay. The man who
He's
dropped
gonna
the
be
touchdown
From the
pass.
University of
He's
Georgia.
Out. He's out.
He's out?
He's out.
You sure?
Yeah, hold on. Let me get you the information on him.
We get Henry.
Man.
I'm telling you.
When did he? I didn't see that on my fantasy thing yet.
No? Hey.
You guys know how many starting running backs from University of Georgia are in the NFL?
He's in
Royce
concussion
Freeman,
protocol.
Let's see.
He entered it on Thursday.
Really? Man,
Yeah.
that sucks. That's really going to screw my...
Adrian
I know.
Adrian Peterson is the lead ball carrier.
I want Ahmed from the Dolphins.
Ahmed. Okay.
Over Henry?
That's a good pick right there.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
4.8.
Yep.
Perfect.
Makes sense. Yeah. Money.
Yeah, we got to go over value.
They don't even have a headshot for him.
I know. That's how good he is.
Yeah.
Okay. So we need a couple wide receivers. So let's
Yeah,
just
you need
start
2 more.
digging. That guy's going to be too much. That guy. You know what we're going to do, Jay?
Who's that kid from Cincinnati?
T. Higgins.
Let's
That
see.
dude's pretty good.
I like T. Higgins.
He's
Try
pretty
some
good.
T. Higgins.
Okay. He's 5.9.
That's within my realm.
Now, he's questionable, but we'll put him in for now, okay?
All right, T. Higgins.
T. Higgins is in.
All right.
You're at 16.9 with an average of 4.225.
All right, we're going to have to get... I want
Let me give you some advice real quick.
that little white boy from Tampa.
Oh,
what's
you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, what? I forgot his name already.
What is his name?
I forgot him already.
Not Beasley.
No, he's with Baltimore.
He's
Or
Baltimore, yeah.
Buffalo, I mean.
Buffalo,
Scotty
yeah.
something. Scotty Miller?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, that's not it. And
Scotty Miller's a kicker, right?
I thought his name was that. Hold on, I'll scan through it here real quick. But while we're at it, start thinking about a defense because that's where you can start saving money when you get a defense.
I'm going to get us a defense. I already got it figured out.
Okay.
And it's the Chargers defense.
All right. I'm going to go back. I'm going to come back to that just because of about time.
Good call.
Yeah.
Chargers D?
Yeah, I'm going to start. Yeah.
Start playing this out of here?
No, I'm not. Okay, that was only 4,000 for Chargers D.
All right, LA Chargers D.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find me that guy, that wideout?
No, keep going though.
All right, tight end.
Yeah.
Fant should be pretty good on this one.
Fant is questionable. He's only
Yeah.
4.5.
What about Jasecki?
Yeah, he's 4.3.
Give me Jasecki.
Okay. Now you need a flex and a wide receiver. Oh, obviously you want Miller. Let's look for a flex.
Flex, we're going to need a running back that is going to get something, but I want, just for Cal, I want Philip Lindsay.
Okay.
Tell me he's cheap.
You should be.
4.5. It's going to lead you 4.1, which I'm sure we're going to be able to do. I'll get that white out here around here. We'll find it soon. So
he's got to be like 3.8.
I will find him. Until then, we do have to go off the air. I want to thank Peggy Kaczynski for her phone call interview. That was awesome. Thanks, guys, for another great week. We'll be back on Monday. We'll look at all our games. We'll do our Guess the Lines. You guys enjoy yourselves, Quad Cities. Have a great, safe weekend. Stay safe and sanitized. Take care, you all.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities Sports Leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBOB Davenport.